Hey people, so I'm going to read to you again out of this book, Mobsters and Gangsters. It's written by Life. Here's a little bit about Bonnie and Clyde. In an era rife with gaudy criminals, Bonnie and Clyde stand out as a double-barreled powerhouse, short-lived, but with at least a dozen corpses strewn along the wayside. They were both born in small Texas towns and came of age in Dallas. Both were small. She stood 4'10" and weighed 85 pounds. And both bore strong family ties right up to their grisly end. But other than a fervent love for each other and a flair for publicity, they were quite different. Bonnie Park was high-spirited, popular, and a good student, excelling in reading and writing. Her father was a mason and her mother stayed home, tending to her 3 kids. It was a normal family, though the father died young. When she was 16, Bonnie married her high school boyfriend, Roy Thornton, a bad apple whom Bonnie broke with after a couple years. In 1930, she moved to Dallas, where she was a waitress and bored crapless. Clyde Barrow's father was an illiterate sharecropper, and the family were squatters. Clyde quit school in the 6th grade, left home, and soon was stealing cars and holding up stores with his brother Buck. In 1930, he visited an injured friend who was being taken care of by none other than Bonnie Parker. The two clicked, and for Bonnie, boredom would cease to be a concern. Before long, Clyde was arrested for burglary and sentenced to 2 years in Waco jail. Bonnie then entered the realm of crime when she strapped a revolver between her breasts and smuggled it into Clyde, who escaped, was recaptured and sent to Easton Prison Farm, an indescribably brutal hellhole where he did 2 years of seriously bad time and became a seriously hard man. Reunited in 1932, Bonnie and Clyde set off on a crime spree across the Southwest. They never liked to venture too far from their families back in Texas, terrorizing small banks and businesses. Sometimes Brother Buck was with them, along with others, but Bonnie and Clyde were inseparable. Authorities uncovered and released photos of the duo, including one of Bonnie with a pistol in her hand and a cigar clenched in her teeth. The publicity further inspired lawmen to help bring them in, dead or alive. It would, of course, be dead. On May 23, 1934, they were driving a stolen Ford in Louisiana when a 6-man posse led by former Texas Ranger Frank Hamer ambushed them and fired 50 bullets into the desperados, ripping them to pieces. Clyde, who had one lens of his sunglasses shot out, was ID'd by a missing toe that he had cut off with an axe in a failed ploy to get out of jail. Bonnie, who was wearing a red dress, red shoes, and a red and white hat, was ID'd by a tattoo on her upper thigh. Said Hamer, "I hate to bust a cap on a woman, especially when she was sitting down. However, if it hadn't been her, it would have been us." So that was a little bit about Bonnie and Clyde. Hope you liked the video. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and message. Peace.